I'm here with my buddy Chris, and we are here to find out just how much faster the 2022 BRZ is than his 2020 BRZ Performance Pack. I actually swapped on a set of 17-inch Michelin Primacys tires in 215/45/17, the same tires that you're running. So this is literally apples to apples. Well, I guess we're running slightly different brake pads. I have the Power Stop Track Day spec, and you have the...
They're very close, I think. Because the grip level is a limiting factor, it doesn't really matter which brake pad you're running.
What I found after 3 sessions in my car on the Primacys, by the way, I didn't get any really good laps and I went 4 wheels off twice, is that I'm not used to driving on such a low grip tire. I find myself just locking up ABS, missing clipping point after clipping point. I mean, Chris was on my ass, even though his car has 40 wheel horsepower less than mine. So unfortunately, I didn't get any really good laps, but what I am gonna do is I just bought a Garmin Catalyst. Thank you to one of my subscribers, by the way, for hooking me up with the employee discount. But I'm gonna take the footage over 3 sessions that I did in my car, and hopefully that'll give you guys an idea of what the car can do, at least with me driving on the Primacys. And then hopefully here in session 4, we are in Chris's car now, and I'm gonna try to string together like a halfway decent lap. We both have track insurance.
We'll both do that.
Yeah, we'll both do that. And then Chris will be driving my car. So if you do get a clean lap, at least we can see, like...
We'll take that as a lap and see how things go.
Yeah. So this won't be as perfect as I was hoping of a comparison that I wanted to put together for you guys, but it is what it is. I've never run Thunderhill 5 mile before. This is my first time. So the 2 sort of bypasses, I'm still trying to gauge just how to take those corners. It is what it is, and hopefully we get some good laps. What do you predict will be the lap time difference?
I think there's a solid 3 seconds.
3 seconds?
3 seconds.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And
all from the straights.
All from the straights. I honestly think the cornering speed is the same. These cars handle probably the same. I mean, I'll find out when I drive it.
But you just walk on the straights.
Yeah, so it's like it's not even close how much faster my car is on the straights.
Every turn you're doing a lot of like drifting.
Oh, okay.
You cannot do that on track.
All right.
I know a lot of times it might be on accident.
It's not intentional.
Yeah. But you know, just
I'll try to keep it more.
Be very careful with that, because if you keep doing it, we're gonna pull you off.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
Thank you.
Starting first lap 6.
So we just finished our 4th session. I was driving Chris's 2020 BRZ, he was driving my 22. I had a terrible day today. I've been driving like absolute shit all day. I had 2 offs by session 3, and then session 4 I actually got some clean laps with no traffic in your car, but I had like 1 or 2 major screw up corners that basically made the lap time pretty bad. And one thing to note that I forgot to mention earlier is that Chris's car has the camber bolts.
Yes.
What did you gain, like maybe half a degree at most?
I didn't have a baseline to go off of, but it's running like 1.7 up front now. So I think that's over like 1.2 degrees from stock.
Wow, okay, that's quite a bit.
Because I think stock is like 0 to 0.5.
Yeah, it's basically 0 camber. Yeah, and it differs quite a bit from left to right depending on the car because there's just so much play built into the McPherson strut system. But anyways, my impressions driving Chris's car, the turn-in was noticeably better. So much so that even though my car has way more mid-range torque, I was able to throttle steer your car a little bit more easily on corner entry, whereas in my car, on the same tires, that initial turn-in defaulted to understeer every time. With your car, because the front has a little bit more grip, I can actually just feed it a little bit more throttle, and then the rear just steps out. I actually got black flagged in this last session because I was quote-unquote drifting. I backed off a little bit and tried to drive a little bit neater. So that might be another reason why my lap time was impacted a bit. I don't know, I'm just coming up with excuses for myself.
Honestly, on this car, the setup, the way it is right now, it's really tough to drive neat.
Yeah.
Like it'll back itself into a corner, it'll do power oversteer, like the rear will just move around on you, and you can do it all day long.
Exactly, like if I were to trail brake even for like half a second into a corner, the back end would immediately step out. The car just wants to rotate, and who am I to deny it that playfulness, right? Because with these tires and like running almost no camber, it's just mostly terminal understeer unless you become comfortable just balancing the rear end with the throttle through basically every corner. So that's just kind of how these cars have to be driven, I think.
Yeah. Even if you balance it on throttle, you're still stuck with the corner entry default. So it's like a mid to late corner balance.
Yeah.
Not like an early corner balance.
Right.
So, and my car was like that before the camber bolts. So
yeah.
I think, if we were to have exactly the same back-to-back, and the characteristics would be quite similar. Hi.
We black flagged you for that drifting again. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and send you back paddock anyways.
Okay.
This session is pretty much over.
Understand.
So thanks for coming out. Have a great day.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Have a good one.
All right, you too.
Honestly, if I were driving both cars back to back blindfolded, outside of your car having a little bit better steering feel and a tighter shifter because you have the STI short shifter, besides that, these cars feel 98% identical. On the straightaways, obviously there is a difference. When I look down at the speedo on the main straight of the Thunderhill East section, I noticed I was at least 5 miles an hour slower than in my car. But when I'm actually driving, just focused on my lines, I don't pay attention to that as much. Yeah. People say this car lacks power, but from my experience, it's still enough, at least on the stock tires, to like have fun with.
It's enough. I think that maybe it doesn't come out as much on track driving because we're 5,000 to 7,000 RPM the whole way through.
That's true.
On the street, I definitely noticed like a pickup issue, kind of, as everyone talks about, the torque dip.
Yeah.
And I really didn't get a chance to compare those back to back, so track impressions is probably why they feel so similar.
Right. So I guess the conclusion of this video is, forgetting lap times for a moment, this is purely my opinion. If you buy the new car and you pay MSRP or even like a $3,000 to $5,000 markup, I would say it's honestly worth it if you're daily driving the car. To me, like the difference in performance, yes, you do get 40 wheel horsepower more, which is significant, but neither car is like fast on the straights. And this car, even though it only has like 205 horsepower or whatever, on track, it has a good balance of power to weight to brakes, cornering grip to steering feel, and all of that. It still feels like I said, 98% the same. So if you can pick up an old car for $15K less than the new one, I honestly think you're getting more bang for your buck in that regard. But the new one is for sure a lot torquier on the street. I remember when I reviewed your car in the canyons, I was like, wow, this thing is gutless below like 5,000 essentially. Yeah. The interior, there's, pretty significant improvement with the newer version as well. But really from a driving dynamic standpoint, when you're going 10/10s, it's not a huge difference.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah. So hope this helps you guys make a decision if you're in the market between an old BRZ and a new one. There's a lot of GR86s and BRZs out here today, the new models, so it's great to see all the owners who just got their car like in the last 1 to 2 months actually driving it the way it's meant to be driven. It gives me hope that we'll continue to get fun, affordable rear-wheel drive drivers cars. As long as like we keep buying them and like we keep demanding them, there's going to be a market for these cars. So hope that helped. Let me know what questions you guys have in terms of how these two cars compare, and we'll see you in the next one.
Nice work.
My foot missed the brake pedal. Ah!
29.36. Next left, apex earlier. Next left.